I talk, you listen, or you turn the channel. Either way, I'm still going to talk. A moment of hope. We can only hope. Apparently it was a huge, huge deal. We've got a new president. An actual sworn in twice. Because the first time the guy that was actually doing the swearing in messed up, said a word wrong or something, and so it didn't count. It's like, and of course, yeah, it was like a do-over. But I guess the next day, in the privacy of the office where there wasn't the crowds and all the nervousness, Barack did set his hand on the Bible for a second time, which just goes to show you that, I mean, he's not a Muslim. He's not going to burn if he's exposed.
It wasn't a Quran that he put his hand on. It was a Bible.
It was a Bible. Yep. The same Bible that Abraham Lincoln was sworn in on.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently it's like a big tradition or something.
Now, was Abe Lincoln the first one sworn in on that Bible, or was it like he was the first notable one, or?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
You didn't
maybe
research this very much, did you?
No, of course not. I don't research anything a whole lot because I lose interest real quick. But
you got that AADD thing going on.
I've got ADD and all the other letters that you can get, apparently. Heart problems, all the pills that, you can legally take that don't do anything to you except make you feel tired, And, a lot of people, their excuse for not smoking pot is, oh, pot makes me tired. I should say, well, here, try some of my pills. See if maybe they do the opposite. Because pot doesn't make me tired, but these damn pills do.
Yeah, and they're expensive. I wouldn't give them away.
Well, you're right. You're right. Although Target, $4 prescriptions these days. What can you do? Pharmaceutical companies figure, they'll more than make up for the low prices by just the sheer massive amounts that they'll be able to sell. So, and they know that just like food, everybody, your intake of pharmaceutical medications increases the older that you get. It's just, and these pharmaceutical companies are like fighting, the whole right to life thing. They're like, oh, no euthanasia. Let's not, if somebody's suffering, let's not put them out of their misery. Let's do everything we can do just to make them comfortable with pills and shots. But stay off drugs, kids. If you blow out your mind too early, you won't be able to take the drugs later on when you're like in your 70s and 80s. So stay off drugs until you're in your 70s. Or after your first heart attack. But apparently it was a huge, day on Tuesday. It was a huge day on Thursday, too. That's when we did the show. Big day on Tuesday. Everybody in the world apparently was watching, network TV, including us here at Cheshire TV. But I mean, it was a big deal. Barack Obama getting sworn in. And I don't know whether the Lincoln Bible thing was just because Lincoln freed the slaves. So, instead of, swearing in on George Washington's Bible or Thomas Jefferson's Bible, Clinton, I think, swore in on Thomas Jefferson's Bible because he was a pot smoker. And Jefferson grew pot. So it was like, all right, we'll have Clinton sign, do the oath on the Jefferson Bible, Obama on the Lincoln Bible because Lincoln freed the slaves, which basically led the way to Barack Obama being president. So, and I'm pretty sure in the acceptance speech, Obama said, I'd like to thank Jesus first. I mean, he was like the sports guys. I want to thank Jesus for everything. And then I'd also like to thank Abraham Lincoln, because without him, you know, I would have still been picking cotton. But, you know, and, you know, some people, I don't think were so thrilled with the whole idea, because Ted Kennedy actually had a seizure. Oh yeah, clutched his chest, and he was like, had to be removed. And from what I understand, he might have ordered the chicken instead of the steak. But I mean, hey, if you're going to an inauguration and paying that kind of money, you damn sure better order the steak. You don't order chicken for shit like that. You know? And then the balls. My God. Well, let's get back to Kennedy, because this guy was in sad shape. And his niece, Carolyn Kennedy, has pulled out of the race for New York senator. She said she's not interested in the Senate seat because of personal problems right now. And it's probably because she's figuring out what she's going to do with the money her uncle leaves her. Because that's what happens in them huge families. You just sit around waiting for the oldest guy to die so that you can, you know, add to your collection of crap. And then there were the balls. Like 10 or 12 different balls that they go to. And the amount of money. It's money they could have spent, you know, on, let's see, bulletproof vests for guys in Iraq, maybe. More bombs. Law enforcement. Look at the law enforcement that had to be drawn into D.C. just to cover this entire press. We're damn lucky that the terrorists didn't attack somewhere in, you know, the middle of Hoboken, friggin' Idaho or somewhere, you know? There's also a Hoboken in Idaho, I think. Crappy little town, though. It's not like the one in Jersey, a crappy big town. It's just a crappy little town. But
No, the one in Jersey just smells worse.
oh, you're from Jersey, so apparently I guess you can
I'm
say
from
that.
Jersey, I can say that, yeah.
Jersey girls are hot, though. I just got to tell you. I don't know. At least Kelly from Regis and Kelly is. But because some of the other stuff I heard today was, I believe, whatever company made the jackets, I think it's, I want to say LL Bean, but I know it's not LL. Oh, J. Crew, the company that made the jackets for the Obama girls, are going to actually start selling those jackets, you know, probably $15 higher than any of their other jackets, because they're in the style that they made for the Obama kids. But there was some company's going to make a knockoff of some beautiful gown that Michelle Obama wore at one of the balls, so that, you know, your average normal housewife can dress up and look like Michelle Obama. I don't know. And Obama's been busy since he's been president. Been real busy. He's saw today he signed an executive order to close Guantanamo Bay within a year. And I guess just open the gates and open the cells and take all our people out, I guess. And let all them guys go. I'm assuming just let all them guys go. Which sounds kind of stupid. And we're only closing the detention center. He's not closing the entire military base down there, because we still got to keep an eye on Castro. Because he's dangerous no matter how old he gets. That man's dangerous. Meanwhile, Obama's in there signing his life away. Is he left-handed? Okay, so apparently even a left-handed person can become president. Left wing. Good thinking. He is, I think, a left guy, I think. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. Once he's got the suit on and he's got that, the shroud of guys behind him. When he's signing stuff with a different pen. Signs this one with this pen and he hands it off and they take it and he gets another paper with another pen and I don't know what the hell happens to the pens.
Well, they're planning a commemorative pen set, I think, and they need to have the original so they can copy it.
I've been thinking about getting the plates. They're guaranteed to double in value. That's what they say anyway.
As soon as he's assassinated? Or?
Maybe, I don't know. See, they never say when. I got the damn Wizard of Oz plate, guaranteed to double in value, and it's still just a plate. It hasn't turned into nothing. There's no, it's not even a plate and saucer anymore. It's just a plate. You punch it in on the internet to find the value of it. The value of it is $29.95. Which it's minus shipping and handling. I bought that thing 10 years ago. Should have bought the Marie Osmond dolls, apparently. Or the ShamWow, they practically sell themselves. Well, so anyway, meanwhile, I was at the meanwhile part. I think I drifted from meanwhile. A detainee that has been released from Guantanamo Bay. I'm on camera 3. All right, that's where I was. I knew I got lost somewhere. A freed detainee from Guantanamo Bay is now suing the United States for unlawful detention. Yeah. So now we're going to close the whole place. All these guys are going to get out, sue the United States because we're bad.
Yeah, as soon as the first idiot wins, there's a precedent.
That's it. As soon as the first guy wins, it's millions, billions of dollars going to these people. And what will they do with it? Go back to where they came from, spend it on, I don't know, enriched plutonium, build a few bombs, buy a few jetliners. Why not? And, come and attack us again. And, then we'll get videotapes from the leader of their groups saying, America, you brought this on yourself. You guys suck. You shouldn't pay. You shouldn't let people sue you. As far as I'm concerned, these guys are criminals, suspected terrorists, and the other bill that Obama signed was the anti-torture bill, which basically says, you can do whatever you want to us, and then we will, ask you, and if you don't tell us, well, that's it. We'll shake your hand. We'll say, we're sorry we detained you. Please don't sue us. And see you later. And these people will just go off and plan more shit once they realize that we won't do anything. That's the whole thing.
I'm up for the change and all, but you got to draw a hard line when it comes to defending our country, defining our lines.
Well, it's one thing.
Maintaining the borders.
It's one thing if it's war. That's all I'm saying. If it's war, World War II, there was a thing called the Geneva Convention that said that prisoners of war had to be treated a certain way, were entitled to certain things, and that was it. You followed the Geneva War, or you broke the Geneva War, in which case you were liable to face charges for war crimes. That whole way of thinking ended with Vietnam. And I'm sorry to say it, but we lost Vietnam. We did a piss poor job. Our soldiers didn't do a piss poor job. Our leaders and our government did a piss poor job around the whole fighting in Vietnam, police action, whatever you want to call it. It was a war. The people we were fighting against were trying to kill us. Were trying to kill the South Vietnamese. The North Vietnamese people were trying to kill the South Vietnamese. Apparently, the South Vietnamese asked for our help, and we helped them. But we didn't really like the fact that the North Vietnamese didn't play by the rules. When the North Vietnamese fought a war, they fought a war. And when they got prisoners, you know, there's all the tales of, you know, forced games of Russian roulette for the Viet Cong's viewing enjoyment. Bamboo splinters under the fingernails. That's what I remember from as a kid, because that was always, you know, the worst thing. Bamboo, I mean, who hasn't jammed something up under a fingernail at one time? Just a little tiny bit. But imagine somebody doing that over and over and over and over again. You know, that's torture. The Vietnamese tortured our prisoners, and you know something? It worked. The guys that didn't break died. And the guys that broke got thrown back into the prisoner of war camp and held until a day came when they were let go. But the Vietnamese got the information that they wanted, because a human can only take so much pain. And I mean, they'll sell their soul or they'll die. And that's the way we have to look at this war. This is not a conventional war. Terrorism is the people that are going to die in a terrorist war are the people that walk into a mall on, oops, that bad luck day when somebody decides to strap on a bomb vest and blow themselves up, you know, or a schoolyard. Terrorists won't attack, say, Andrews Air Force Base. They won't attack Norfolk Naval Station. They won't attack, you know, Fort Benning in Georgia. That's not going to create terror. That's going to get their asses kicked. They won't attack hardened sites like that. Terrorists will attack people that don't have guns. And if we just, you know, pull people in that we know, you know, we've been intercepting phone calls between these guys and the terrorist guys for years, but when we get them in custody, they don't talk. And we come to where we are now. We've been holding guys for 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and these guys just aren't talking. And now all of a sudden, oh, it's wrong, you can't hold them. But they know shit. That's all there is to it. They know shit. And we just have to, I don't know, get real tough. And it's not going to be from all these, you know, let's vow never to torture anybody. Let's, you know, let's come up with new and ingenious ways to torture people. You know? Maybe torture that doesn't leave scars, doesn't, you know, that isn't as inhumane as waterboarding. You know, maybe you can, I don't know, find out if they're really ticklish and just tickle them until they give up the, you know, stop or I'll pee my pants kind of thing. You know? Well, go ahead. We don't care. We'll laugh and take pictures. But that's against the rules, too. Oh. All right. My God, why didn't somebody stop me? I've been going on forever about this crap. We should think about crew call, Bruce, really. Because we've got a crew. And as typical on a night when there's no city council meeting. On camera one, we have Jim Bemis. Oh, you look good in that light too, Jim. I'm glad we're lighting our camera people now. On camera three, we got Greg. Yeah, you still look like a hippie, Greg. Even with the good light. So we got two cameramen out here, but in the booth, we're short one audio graphics person, because all we got in the booth is Bruce.
How you doing out there tonight, Rick?
I'm doing all right, man.
We're having all kinds of fun. Andrea was a little under the weather today, so I'm in here by myself playing, having a good time. All kinds of fun.
And doing a fine job.
I appreciate it. I thank you. So how's things going out there tonight?
It's going good. Going good. I've got a bunch more stuff.
Anything special in mind?
Anything special in mind for what?
No particular reason.
Oh, you mean? No, I was going to get to this later.
Okay, that's fine.
No,
not at all. I got a couple of things in the NASCAR world that I just wanted to bring everybody up to date on. It was announced that Burger King is going to sponsor Tony Stewart in his number 14 car this year.
Oh, I don't like Burger King.
Yeah, so they're going to do at least a limited primary sponsorship, and I'm sure a full-time associate sponsorship, but they're going to be the main sponsor on at least a couple of his Cup entries this year, so that's pretty cool.
Hey, that's neat, because maybe they'll get the Burger King guy there to climb one of the fences with Tony if he wins.
Well, he does have some commitments for commercials.
Nice.
So he's going to appear in some Burger King commercials this year.
Nice.
The merger that just was announced with Petty and Gillette Evernham Motorsports is going to be officially called Richard Petty Motorsports. They want to make sure they capture his name and utilize that to the best of their ability, but they're going to field 4 cars. Going to be the number 9 of Casey Kane, the number 19 of Elliott Sadler, the number 43 of Reed Sorensen, who came over from Ganassi. He was made part of the Gillette Evernham stables this at the end of last year. He'll be driving the 43, and the 44 car will be fielding Allmendinger for a limited schedule. He's going to do at least 12 races, I think they announced so far, but just a limited thing. So they're actually going to field 3 cars for the full season and 1 part-time. Earnhardt Ganassi Racing is going to field 4 cars for the Daytona 500, but 3 for the full season. Their cars are going to include the number 1 of Truex Jr., the number of 8 of Eric Almirola, and 42 of Juan Montoya. They haven't announced what the 4th car number or driver is going to be for the Daytona 500, but I know between the 2 team stables, they have the 01, the 15, and the 41 to choose from. So it's going to be one of those cars, but they haven't announced what the driver or the car number is going to be. Tommy Baldwin, who was a longtime crew chief for several notable drivers, including Casey Kane, is going to field his own team this year. He's going to come out with 1 single car with Scott Riggs as a driver, and they're going to have the number 36 on the car. And basically that was about it for the news, but I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed and let them know that on February 7th, Saturday night, it's going to be the Bud Shootout. So racing's coming. It's only a couple of weeks away.
And then the 500 is like a week later, right?
It's a week after that, yes, sir. Or 8 days after that. It's on a Sunday. But absolutely, racing season's coming in a hurry, and it's going to be a good one. So
that
looking
means
forward to it,
green
everybody.
grass and warm weather is
Oh,
close.
the warm weather would be nice.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I thought once Barack Obama signed in for being president, that we'd get all warm and fuzzy, and I haven't seen the warm and fuzzy yet. I don't know, I kind of feel the same as I did, 3 days ago when Bush was president. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But, things don't seem a whole lot different. Although I'm a scared for Mike out in Colorado, because I saw this in the other days, USA Today. A woman who was mountain biking on the South Boulder Creek Trail in Boulder, Colorado, was knocked down and stepped on by a cow. Attacked by a Colorado cow.
Whoa, look at me.
Must have been a mad cow.
I don't know. The woman had stopped to let the cow cross the trail. And apparently it got mad, attacked her. Maybe it was one of them on its way to California to be a happy California cow. But her name wasn't released and she wasn't seriously hurt, and the cow left the area before the Rangers arrived. So apparently it was just a quick hit and run kind of thing. Cow attacked a lady and then moved on. So,
They can't move that fast.
but, no, I mean the Rangers out there must be slow as shit. If they can't catch a cow, I mean, if we can't protect our citizens from cows, there's no way we'll protect them from terrorists.
What the hell is Homeland Security doing?
Where is Homeland Security? Yeah, they ain't watching out for bears. Colbert told me that, and they're not protecting us from cows. But it's a good idea. One last story before we crank to the musical interlude, because we got a good one this week. The housing market is in the toilet. You know, you put your house on the market, it's liable to stay there years. And I wished I'd known, I wish this story would have came out like a year ago when my buddy still had all his houses, but he was behind trying to sell. In Vienna, Austria, this lady couldn't sell her house. It had been on the market for about half a year and hadn't sold. The house was worth about $1 million. She came up with a great idea. She advertised on her website and raffled her house off. She sold 9,999 raffle tickets for $128 a piece. That's $1,280,000. And then she picked one of them and gave the house to that person. But hey, she probably wouldn't have got that even during the sale. So that's, you know, maybe an idea for some of you people trying to sell houses. Raffle them off. Who knows, you know, $100 a ticket, you sell to, you know, couple 10,000 tickets, 20,000 tickets. And who's not going to take a chance on a house? You know, you could win $1 million house for $100. Who wouldn't just jump on that? Really? You know? Good idea. Walter Egger, he was an Austrian, was picked Tuesday as the lucky winner of the home. And it's in Austria's southern province of Carinthia. So the raffle has inspired several other homeowners in Austria to try to sell their homes through lotteries as the country starts to feel the effects of financial crisis. So we're not alone in the financial crisis. But, all right, we'll get into the Mom's Tattoo musical interlude. And this week is a band that we haven't shown yet, but they're a band from the 2008 Keen Music Fest, a band called Shadwell.
You guys are all right. Thank you very much.
Off the map, the mountain words that I've never known.
great, thank you.
Yeah, they were a good band. They were, I want to say like later in the afternoon, around the 4 or 5 o'clock mark, I think they came on, and very good. I don't know where they were from or anything, but I want to do first. All right, let's do this, because the next story I have is actually kind of sad. This is like a piece of somebody's diary. And it was found. Somebody moved into a house, and it was found in a corner. It says, October 14th, New Hampshire is such a gorgeous place to live, one of the real special places on earth. The leaves are turning a multitude of different colors. I love all the shades of reds, oranges, and yellows. They are so bright. I want to walk through all of the beautiful hills and spot some white-tailed deer. They are so graceful. Certainly they must be the most peaceful creatures on earth. This must be paradise. November 11th, deer season opens this week. I can't imagine why anyone would want to shoot those elegant animals. They are a very symbol of peace and tranquility here in New Hampshire. I hope it snows soon. I love it here. December 2nd, it snowed last night. I woke to the usual wonderful sight. Everything covered in a beautiful blanket of white. The oak tree is magnificent. It looks like a postcard. We went out and swept the snow from the steps and driveway. The air is so crisp and clean and refreshing. We had a snowball fight. I won, and the snowplow came down the street. He must have gotten too close to the driveway because we had to go out and shovel the end of the driveway again. What a beautiful place. Nature in harmony. I love it here. December 12th. More snow last night. I love it. The plow did his cute little trick again. What a rascal. A winter wonderland. I love it here. December 19th. More snow. Couldn't get out of the driveway to get to work in time. I'm exhausted from all of the shoveling and that snowplow. December 21st. More of that white shit coming down. I got blisters on my hands and a kink in my back. I think that the snowplow driver waits around the corner until I'm done shoveling the driveway. Asshole. December 25th. White Christmas? More freaking snow. If I ever get my hands on the son of a bitch who drives a snowplow, I swear I'll castrate him. And why don't they use more salt on these roads to melt this crap? December 28th. It hasn't stopped snowing since Christmas. I've been inside since then, except of course when that SOB snowplow Harry comes by. Can't go anywhere. Cars are buried up to the windows. Weatherman says to expect another 10 inches. Do you have any idea how many shovelfuls 10 inches is? January 1st. Happy New Year. The way it's coming down, it won't melt until the 4th of July. The snowplow got stuck down the road, and the shithead actually had the balls to come down and ask to borrow my shovel. I told him I'd broken 6 of them already this season. January 4th. Finally got out of the house. We went to the store to get some food, and a goddamn deer ran out in front of my car, and I hit the bastard. It did $3,000 worth of damage to the car. Those beasts ought to be killed. The hunters should have a longer hunting season. January 27th. Warmed up a little and rained today. The rain turned the snow into ice, and the weight of it broke the main limb of the oak tree in the front yard, and it went through the roof. I should have cut that old piece of shit into fireplace wood when I had the chance. May 23rd. Took my car to the local garage. Would you believe the whole underside of the car is rusting away from all the damn salt they dump on the road? Car looks like a bashed up heap of rusted cow shit. May 10th. June 10th. Sold the car, the house, and moved to North Carolina. I can't imagine why anyone on their freaking mind would ever want to live in the godforsaken state of New Hampshire. Yeah. Apparently a flatlander. That's the way some people see our happy little state. Lately, that's the way I'm starting to see our happy little state. All right. Yeah, let's talk about this, because Well, no, I'll do the update first. I've got update. Ding, ding. I should have a big graphic for update. Some fancy music or something. The plane that crashed in the Hudson River last week. I guess the divers found the engine at the bottom of the Hudson. It will take a couple more days to bring it up from the bottom of the Hudson. But they said they did find feathers and bird guts and stuff. So it is looking like it hit some birds. And it doesn't take a whole flock of birds. It takes one bird to go inside one of them jet engines and start breaking stuff.
It was a suicide bird.
It could have been a
depressed seagull.
Islamic, one of them radical Islamic kamikaze Canadian geese.
Came through disguised as a Canadian
Islamic.
goose.
Yeah. What would that be called?
It was a sleeper
Canadian
goose.
Arabic? Canada Arabic? Whatever. But I saw the movie. They played one of the TV commercials, TV channels this weekend played the movie where we invaded Canada. Canadian Bacon, yeah. What a great movie, man. Got the whole United States believing that Canada was a threat, all through the media. We could do that, yeah. So anyway, I think we'll find out that the plane that crashed in the Hudson, the pilot was a huge hero because he did a fantastic water landing. Everybody got out, and they'll probably find out that it was nothing he did wrong. On the other hand, Microsoft is cutting 5,000 jobs. 5,000 jobs. Ericsson is cutting 5,000 jobs. Circuit City right here in Keene, any day could be closed. Who knows what'll go in there? Hopefully a huge Arby's.
This town needs a Denny's, man. We
It'll
need
probably be like
in
a
bad
Best
way.
Buy or some other.
And a Long John Silver's.
stores.
I'm lobbying for Long John
All right,
Silver's.
all right.
And Denny's.
Oh, Jim wants a Dairy Queen. Maybe we could just put like a food court.
Just turn it into a huge food court.
Turn it into a huge food court.
There you go.
Where you walk in, there's a whole bunch of different
It's like the
little
goofy
places.
pizza joint.
Like in a mall.
And, the yogurt place. And
The China Walk.
yeah.
Where they serve this stuff like a Baskin Robbins, a Orange Julius,
And have a dancing
Well,
bear in the middle. Just so you
Mama-
got something to watch while you're eating.
Mama Pretzel Maker or whatever.
A&W place.
A&W, Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen is awesome too. They have Brazier Burger or whatever it is. Anything but a In-N-Out Burger. Because you know what I heard about In-N-Out Burger? They print Bible quotes on their wrapping. In-N-Out Burger is they're huge out west, a franchise out west. I'm not sure where they originated, but there's also when I was running with the carnival, it was a little Dunkin' Donuts type operation, and I don't know, it was down in Southern Mass and Rhode Island, the chain. But they had Bible verses on like their coffee cups. So, it's one thing if you believe in that kind of thing, that's fine. Don't give it to me on my coffee cup. That's like forcing it on me. Don't force it on me. Just lay back, let it come. It will. Yeah. United Airlines cutting 1,000 jobs. And Intel, their cuts are going to affect 6,000 workers. So let's see, that's 10, 11, 17,000 workers in 4 companies. These people will all be out looking for jobs, joining all the rest of the people that are out looking for jobs.
Yeah, I saw a brief news blip saying that the unemployment rate has gone higher than expected.
It's at a 26-year high.
Yeah.
And AIG is ending its soccer sponsorship. AIG apparently sponsored some kind of, I don't know if it was just one event or a team or what they sponsor, but their soccer sponsorship is no more. There are a lot of companies in Keene that believe that they're, matter of fact, Ernie, who works at Hannaford's, was telling me that because of the economy, Hannaford's will be scaling back on their charity type of donation type stuff, which is huge.
Yeah, in a time when people need it most.
Exactly, yeah. Although, with so many people out looking for work, what business isn't suffering? Hairstylists. Because all of a sudden, there's a huge rise in people that are getting haircuts, that are getting their hair dyed back to its normal color from pink and purple. People are cleaning up. Hemlines, I heard, are getting longer, which I don't think that's fair to a lot of us. I'm hoping that maybe some of these people, young kids, will stop wearing the baggy-ass clothes that they wear. But people are cleaning up their acts, trying to get jobs. Which, yeah, nothing gets that nose piercing out, or them 8 lip rings out, more than really needing a job, And if you go in with a face full of metal and somebody goes in that's all clean cut and looks businesslike, and you both have the same qualifications, who do you think they're going to hire? Yeah. Unfortunately, we're judged by the way we look. At least a lot of places. I'm not judged by the way I look around here. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Lee would rather have somebody nice and clean cut, working here. But I work hard, so he doesn't care how I look. As long as I get the job done. So, it's tough, and it's not gonna get better soon, I don't think. Obama, I guess, announced that he's going to start having a daily economic briefing along with his daily security briefing so that he can stay on top. I mean, he's his second, third day, on the job, and he seems like, he's going to stay on top of things. Whether he loses interest in a week or whatever, who knows? But
now, I wonder at what point and how long it takes to tell all the national secrets to fill him in and let him know everything that he really needs to know as a president.
that was probably all done between November and January.
Well, would you actually tell that stuff to somebody that's not yet president? I mean, he's got to be
Well,
sworn
no, he
in
was
first.
president. He was president. He was elected president. He was president-elect, but that was that in-between time, that transition time. That's when Bush filled him in. Here's where I keep my secret stash of ring dings. That kind of, all the secrets of the White House and the job. Don't get Dick Cheney wet after midnight. That whole thing. He was in a wheelchair at the inauguration. No, Cheney. Cheney was in a wheelchair. I don't know whether he shot himself in the leg or what happened, but I think it was a leg problem, apparently. Because it doesn't seem like he would have had a wheelchair for an arm problem. So he had, I don't know, sore hamstring or something. But, I saw.
I think it was something by lifting boxes, moving out.
Oh, yes, he heard him. He pulled something moving out. That's what it was. Probably heisting the good China. And, you got to remember this. And I saw that little exit interview that he gave with Matt Lauer. the little interview on Good Morning America, whatever friggin' little show that they interviewed him on. But this dude, he kind of looked like a villain from, I don't know, Dark Man or something. You know? He looked fairly scary. Like, I mean, if nothing else, he can go off in the private sector and be a villain, a great villain at something.
He was. He used to work for the oil company.
Well, that's right. He'll probably go back to work in the oil company. But, you know, he had one of them, like, fedora hats on, like a cape. Yeah, cover up. He could probably, you know, and you know that he can make himself invisible, right? He's got like a cloak or something, and because 8 years, we saw him, what, 4 times in 8 years? And anytime anybody mentioned him, oh, he was hard at work. He was hard at work. It's just he was in invisible mode. But 10 minutes, all right. I'll get to this one. Because this is about I saw this today, and it kind of blows my mind, because this is what the world is coming to. Super Bowl commercials. We're gearing up for the Super Bowl. That's in beginning of February also.
A week away.
Yeah, like a week and a half away. And that's probably the 8th. That's probably the day after the...
It's a week from Sunday.
It's a week from Sunday, so it's like the 8th. The day after the Bud Shootout.
No, day before. It was a week before.
Oh, the week before the Bud Shootout. All right. But yeah, the Super Bowl. So all the, you know, attention turns to Super Bowl commercials because they're huge. These are commercials that are like millions of dollars for a second. No, a second. I don't know what the exact cost is this year because I didn't see that. But they must have it broken down into a cost per second because Miller High Life is going to air a 1-second commercial during the Super Bowl. And I'm interested because where can you fit into a second? We don't show anything here on Chester TV that's less than 6 seconds long. Can you imagine the programming nightmare if I had to program shows that were a second long? No way. I know, it's like, what can you say? Drink Miller. Maybe have some girl lift up her top and have Miller High Life written on her boobs. That would probably be the most productive second that you could do in advertising. Do you think? Especially during the football game. Maybe have a girl and a guy. You know, a good-looking girl, a good-looking guy. They both take their tops up. Exactly, yeah. And get a famous couple to do it. Regis and Kelly. No, if you're going to get Kelly, you should probably get Kelly and Mark. Because apparently he's like this huge hunk kind of guy thing, and all the women love him. Because he's Latino or Hispanic or whatever he is. Guatemala, not Guatemalan. The other thing, Dominican. Maybe he's Dominican. I don't know. But I'm still waiting for them to, you know, call me up and ask me to co-host a show when Regis is out someday. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I hope it does, though. Let me, I guess a few stupid facts, just because that way you won't be able to say that I've wasted your hour. You'll at least be able to say, hey, you know, I learned one thing on Unfiltered this week. In 1946, the first TV toy commercial aired. It was for Mr. Potato Head. Yeah. And in the 1985 Boise, Idaho mayoral election, when they voted for the mayor of Boise, Idaho in 1985, there were 4 write-in votes for Mr. Potato Head. Yep. Of course, why not? Mr. Potato Head should be the governor of Idaho. Actually, the 100 billionth crayon made by Crayola was periwinkle blue. Yeah. When the divorce rate goes up in the United States, toy makers say that the sale of toys also rises. You know why? It's because parents fighting for the love of their kids with money, trying to buy their kids' love. Yeah. The yo-yo originated in the Philippines, and it was originally used as a weapon in hunting. Yep, somebody could bag a rabbit with a walk the dog.
But you had to get within 3 feet because
You gotta get close to the yo-yo, or else you need a really long string.
Must have been adapted for home use.
Probably. And you could still probably kill somebody with it too. I know it. I know them little clacker ball things. You could kill somebody with them too. I got my finger pinched between one. The Slinky is sold on every continent of the world except for Antarctica. I don't know. It seems like penguins would be pretty good
No stairs.
at the Slinky. Maybe there's no stairs in Antarctica. Good point, Greg. If you took a standard Slinky and stretched it out, it would measure 87 feet.
That's how long it was?
That's how long? Yep. Mosquito repellents don't repel. They hide you. They mask you. The spray blocks the mosquitoes' sensors so they don't know you're there. Yep. And you know why they put holes in fly swatters? Not so the fly will squish on Petrino, but so that there's less wind resistance, lower air resistance. Scotch tape has been used as an anti-corrosive shield on the Goodyear blimp. Thought you'd want to know that one. A barnacle has the largest penis of any other animal in relation to its size. Sorry.
That just raised the quality of this show.
You think it did? I figured it would.
I don't think so. I was kidding.
Well, how many people you think will go to work tomorrow going, hey, did you know a barnacle has the biggest thing of any animal in relation?
In the animal kingdom, a barnacle has the biggest.
That's all. In relation to its size. I mean, small compared to a horse, but, you know, compared to anything smaller than a barnacle, it's huge. I mean, if there's any other animal the same size as a barnacle, the barnacle's bigger. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I did that one. That was a bird one, I thought. The horned owl is not horned, actually, no horns. It's just tufts of feathers. To see at night as well as an owl, a human would need eyeballs as big as grapefruits. Yeah, I don't know anybody with eyes that big either. Yep. A sheep, a duck, and a rooster were the first passengers in a hot air balloon. A monkey went into space, but you know, I'm thinking a sheep, a duck, and a rooster in a hot air balloon. That sounds like to make himself a great joke somewhere.
Or at least
I can't think of one right now. I'm not a genius.
Or a good feast.
To keep cool, ostriches urinate on their legs. It then evaporates like sweat. So apparently if you're really hot, just urinate on your legs and it'll keep you cool. If you're an ostrich. The owl parrot can't fly and builds its nests under tree roots. 1 minute. All right. Let me tell you about a couple things going on. Tomorrow night, Saturday at 7 o'clock at Monadnock High School is the Hot Jazz in January concert. It's a bunch of, I guess, high school bands, high school jazz bands from around the area. And they get together and put on a show. Cheshire TV will be there filming it to air. Coming up on February 7th, it's a Saturday, is the Keene Ice Festival, downtown Keene. It's always great. Go down and see all the sculptures. Tonight's ending credit clip is a clip that I pulled from the Granite Gorge show that I'm editing that's coming up next week. On No Spin is Liz Coppola and Neil Donegan to talk about school board issues. Till next week, peace.